Radio 88.9 FM, the voice of the Adelaide Hills.
Yes, and my next guest on the line is Ed Jackson, and Ed has a new song out, and its title is Heatwave. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Alan.
How are you today?
Oh, look, I'm very well here in the inner west of Sydney, so it's great to be talking to you.
Right, in the inner west of Sydney. Whereabouts? Give me a suburb.
Oh, well, I'm in Leichhardt, which is the Italian area, about 5 k's west of the city.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I grew up in Burwood, Croydon, not far from there.
Oh, not far. It's just a short walk around the bay. So yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so first up, let's talk about that single, Heatwave. What's the message theme in the song?
Well, look, thanks for your interest in Heatwave. It's basically reinterpreting a summer anthem, so an upbeat summer song, but for a summer that went very wrong in Australia last year, and certainly from October through to about January, we hit with the worst bushfires that I think we've ever seen, and I was personally affected by those with some property that the family has had for years, about 4 hours north of Sydney, and that was just devastated and destroyed. We didn't lose a house, luckily, but we lost all the native bushland plus all our work sheds, and I was just shocked by that and thought I would put pen to paper and write about the experience of heatwaves, knowing that these are going to be with us, I think, for years to come, unless something's done at a national level about climate change.
Yeah, okay. All right, now you've probably hinted about this, so tell us a bit about your background, how you started in music. Any musicians in your family?
There's no musicians in my family, apart from my brother-in-law, who's a jazz piano guy. He actually mixed and mastered the track. His name's Stu Hunter.
Right.
But I'm more interested in the storytelling and the lyric writing of music. I play a little bit of guitar, but often I will get in specialists to work with me and to collaborate. And the song Heatwave is a real collaboration with a young vocalist, Sol Burns, and also an Indigenous rapper by the name of C. Perry. He grew up just near me, up on the mid-north coast. He grew up in Karua, and I think having an Indigenous perspective in the track with the rap breakout section adds a new layer, because there's a lot of discussion about cultural burning and how Indigenous people might have some really interesting things for us to learn about how to manage bushland.
Right. Okay. So tell me a bit about your process as far as writing your music. Do you have a regimented process, or are you fairly laid back? Do you write when you want, or do you set down specific times to do your music?
No, I just allow music to flow through me at various times. I haven't quite found a routine for it, but I might be out for a walk, I might be jogging, I might be on a lunch break, I might have a glass of wine and sit by the fire and just allow words, or often words, just to flow through, and then I'll pick up the guitar and see if I can find a melody and rhythm to that. And then once I've got the song penned out and I've got a rough arrangement done, then I'll take it to my producer, and we'll build up the soundscape that best fits with the song. So Heatwave was just a very simple blues song in E, really, and then through the process of working with my producer, we turned that into, I think, it's a bit of a mix of hip-hop and blues and pop rock. So it's a really strange mix of sounds, but it just felt right for that particular track. We wanted the song to be upbeat and positive, but we wanted it to have a real serious message. So I think that there's a strange juxtaposition in the song. The lyrics are about something quite destructive and serious, and is a little bit political, but the song is kind of a boppy pop number, if you like.
Right. Okay. And so you mentioned styles there, styles of music. Have has your style of music changed, or do you move around a bit? Do you dabble in different styles?
At its core, I suppose I am a folk singer-songwriter. However, that's kind of where I started, and I'm moving into more Americana and country as I've matured as an artist and a songwriter. But I'm open to dabbling in different styles that really reflect what we want to do in the song. So I've been releasing a series of singles. I've done an EP in my earlier years, and then since then I've just been releasing 3 or 4 singles a year, which allows you to be a little bit more fluid in terms of the style. So you can bounce around styles. It doesn't have to stick together as a cohesive album in the same genre.
Yeah.
So that's opened up a lot of freedom in terms of the songwriting practice, and I think that's been an exciting journey, but yes, varied in styles.
Okay.
I would say over the last few years.
All right. So is music a full-time thing for you?
It's not a full-time thing, no. It's my passionate hobby. It's my number one enjoyment in life, and I have to write and I have to create. But I have other work that I do in and around music. But I'm certainly looking forward to getting back on the stage in Sydney with the band to do some more live shows. I've really missed that energy that comes with that. I've really missed the camaraderie and nights out with other musicians, swapping ideas and collaborating. So I'm really looking forward to getting back on stage in the next couple of weeks. As pubs and bars and live music venues open. Yeah.
So did you have any gigs lined up that you had to cancel as a result of this pandemic?
Yeah, there were a few festivals that we had lined up, community festivals and so forth. So we had to park those, unfortunately.
Right.
And just the regular. I mean, there's the regular muso nights in Sydney that were dropped, but nothing too heavy. I know other artists have really suffered and lost their gigs very, very quickly.
Right.
But it's coming back online. Bookings are starting to come back in. People are calling saying, "Hey, I've got a gig in a week or two. Let's have a chat." So that's really exciting.
Yeah, that sounds promising. I honestly didn't think that it would start back that quickly, but you're finding that it is getting that way. So you're actually anticipating to be able to perform live relatively soon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. So the pubs and bars have reopened in Sydney as of Monday.
Right.
They have their restrictions in place. However, we think in a couple of weeks, live music will be added to that mix.
Right.
And will slowly start to come back. So that's a really exciting development. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Okay. So how can people access your music, Ed?
So I'm active on Spotify and also YouTube and Apple Music. I've got an EP called For a While, and then there's sort of 12 or 10 follow-up singles. So, readily available, free to stream online under Ed Jackson Music.
Great. Okay. Well, I've got your song queued up. How would you like to introduce it for us?
G'day everyone in the Adelaide Hills. I'm Ed Jackson, and I hope you like this new track of mine called Heatwave, featuring vocalist Sol Burns and emerging Indigenous rapper C. Perry. Thanks for your interest.
Great. Thanks very much, Ed.
Thanks, Alan. Great to chat.
Righto. Bye-bye.
City's hitting more than 45, and everybody living in the west is heading for a drive. Chuck your talent sunnies in the bucket seat beside. We're turning up the radio to 104.9. It's a heat wave, honey, and we're not going back. The fossils in the government have burnt the sky to black. It's a heat wave, honey, the fire's on the way. I hope you like the planet warm, the heat is here to stay. It's a Yeah, 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 it's a heat wave party. Yeah. There's a heat wave coming, I feel my back burning. There's a heat wave coming, I feel my back burning. Heat wave coming, I feel my back burning. There's a heat wave coming, I feel my back burning. Walking on the beach, the sand is burning at my feet. Dive into the ocean to get some cool relief. Bikinis to the left of me and muscles to the right. I'm praying for a southerly so we can sleep tonight. It's a heat wave, honey, we're not going back. Fossils in the government have burnt the sky to black. It's a heat wave, honey, fire's on the way. I hope you like your planet warm, the heat is here to stay. It's a heat wave, honey. Yeah, 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 it's a heat wave, honey. Yeah, can you feel those heat waves blazing? I can feel it on the track in the basement. I think it's time that we face it. We burning up and it's crazy. Little bit of love, gotta care for the link. Rewrite the plan, then stick it to the mint. Jump in the den, gotta take the fam. Before they bake the fam, it's all gravy. Couple of onions and maybe celery sacrifice with some bread on the side. Then making my bed on the fire. Pray for the southerly so I can sleep tonight. Get a peek for the peace tonight. It's all G when you speak it right. It's all G when you speak it right. Man, it's getting hot in here, right? Sing it, my brother, sing it. Sing that. It's a heat wave, honey. We're not going back. The fossils in the government have burnt the sky to black. It's a heat wave, honey. Fire's on the way. I hope you like your planet warm. The heat is here to stay. Which beach do you like better? One night or mainly? Saltwater. Saltwater? Ah, it's shade back home. Headed up the highway to the place where I was born. And everything around me on the property was burned. Picking through the rubble, lifting iron sheets. We're living off the grid now, mama, trying to beat the heat. It's a heat wave, mama, we're not going back. The fossils in the government have burnt the sky to black. It's a heat wave, mama, fire's on the way. I hope you like your stubbies warm, the heat is here to stay. It's a heat wave, mama. Yeah, 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 it's a heat wave. Long hot summer. Yeah, it's a heat wave, mama. Yeah, 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 it's a heat wave. Long hot summer.
Okay, that was Heatwave.